story on WCIA.com. We have to cut over to the press release here right now. Excuse me, the press conference. It looks like it is set to begin. We have state police there giving an update on the deadly crash that happened yesterday. 72 cars involved, 6 people killed, 37 hurt. They're still cleaning up the damage. We had aerial footage this morning. All right, here we go.
Good. Okay.
All right. All right.
Sorry.
No problem.
We have learned this morning that about 24 people were released from area hospitals. But as we just mentioned, the number of people hurt has climbed a little bit. Yesterday, we received a report of 30 people. That climbed to 37 at around 7:30 this morning. We're hoping to get more confirmation, more updates from the director of state police right here. It looks like they're getting things ready to go. Lots of different media outlets there. Looks like it's all taking place in front of where they're starting to store some of those damaged cars.
All right, now we're ready. So, good morning. So, I'm Brendan Kelly, Director of the Illinois State Police. BRENDANKELLY. I'm just going to walk through a summary of the facts, try to give some, finality to the information that we have for you here today. That we can, at this point, appreciate your patience in dealing with our folks and our PIOs. We try to get as much information to you as possible. There's obviously a very dynamic situation that was changed from minute to minute. There's still an ongoing investigation as we try to identify the remains of 2 remaining individuals, and that's what I'm going to focus on at the end of these remarks. But I appreciate your patience as we are now able to kind of give you a fuller picture of everything that occurred yesterday. So, as everyone knows now at this point, around 10:55, there were yesterday morning here, not far from where we're standing, reports of multiple vehicle crashes on I-55 around mile markers 76 through 78. So this area is a very flat roadway that is surrounded by dirt farm fields, and there's very little windbreaks in that area. And fields to the west of I-55 were depositing significant field dust across I-55, causing essentially zero visibility, complete blackout conditions. So as our troopers were arriving, they were learning that the incident would have numerous vehicles involved, and I'll get to the specific numbers, some of which were on fire, numerous injuries and fatalities. Our folks immediately dispatched troopers from Troop 8, which includes the Metro East area, which is just a bit to the south of here, and from Troop 6, which is the Springfield area just to the north of here, where both of these areas of the Illinois State Police coverage overlap. Along with a variety of units from our Special Operations Group, and they began to search for the injured, provide for care, and coordinate with IDOT and other responding agencies to stop and reroute traffic. So ISP dispatched in excess of 40 troopers, and in addition, and I'll go through the list as well, many of our other agencies from around the area, Fire Services, EMT, Illinois Department of Transportation, others responded to the scene. We also dispatched our investigative agents from the Division of Criminal Investigation. Now, that does not mean that there's a criminal investigation going on here. It just means that those people within the Illinois State Police, they have the expertise, they have the experience at doing what it takes sometimes to be able to identify remains and be able to identify and notify the next of kin with the information and the evidence that we had available to us. So, in addition, ISP traffic crash reconstruction units were deployed and our crime scene investigators. A command post was set up where emergency services responded jointly to work to be able to provide rescue services to those in need and to obviously try to prevent further crashes. And that's why the road was closed. Ultimately, what we are aware of, the Illinois State Police, is that there are at least 37 reported injuries. And the number we have as of right now, and we have no reason to believe that this number will change, there could be more information, but as of right now, we believe 6 fatalities, and the age of the victims range from 2 years old to 80 years old. We are also aware of 72 vehicles involved in the crash. Now, I put an asterisk by that in terms of 72. There were vehicles that were involved in the incident and involved in the event and the crash, may have had some damage, but may have been able to drive away and drive away safely. So there may be some vehicles, it could be a much higher number that we can't account for simply because they were able to leave the scene safely before first responders are there, or they just didn't need any assistance. They were otherwise fine and just wanted to be able to vacate the premises and get away from the fires and the other damage that was there. So I-55 closed approximately that time, and around 6 this morning, after a tremendous amount of work by our folks in the Illinois State Police and our partner agencies, the road was able to be opened up again this morning at around 6 a.m. So we are currently working with the Montgomery County Coroner's Office to positively identify fatality victims. So due to the severity of the crash and the fire, we are required to activate our crime scene services and traffic construction unit, and we are working with our special agents to help identify them and use the techniques that we have when we are investigating criminal investigations to be able to link the information we have to surviving family members. So at this point, we do have, of the 6 fatality, 1 confirmed, and we have 3 that are tentative. And 1 name has been released by the coroner's office. You all should have that. The 3 other tentative identifications, we're obviously not releasing their names yet at this point, but we believe we are communicating with family members, and we're using a variety of techniques and investigative capabilities to be able to confirm that these are in fact their family members that are the victims. Now, here's where we need your help, and this is where we need to use the power that you all have to be able to communicate to the wider world. We have 2 unidentified victims. We have 2 individuals who, as of yet, remain unidentified, and we're needing information from the public or potentially from family members or from witnesses or anybody who may know anything about the identities of these 2 individuals. We want to make sure their family, the people that are out there that are their loved ones that are concerned about their whereabouts, that we're able to provide some closure and proper identification of who these 2 victims are. And I want to put out just some very general information, and this is frankly all the information we have at this point as we continue to investigate. One of the unknown victims that is yet to be identified. We believe the vehicle that individual's remains were found in is a blue Chrysler 300. The registration information, that type of identifying information, is not yet been able to be ascertained because of the condition of the vehicle. In addition, we have a deceased occupant of a Hyundai. Again, the color is we're not quite sure yet, and the vehicle and the specifics of the vehicle are not yet identified. But please put out to the public that we have a phone number, 618-346-3653. I'll repeat that number, 618-346-3653. If anybody might have information that could help us, shed some light on who these potential unidentified victims are, the occupant of a blue Chrysler 300 and the occupant of a Hyundai who may have been in this area at this time yesterday, please call that number, give us that information, and that will be helpful to us in trying to be able to identify who these individuals are. Last but not least, let me thank the tremendous response by the people that are behind me, the outstanding leadership that they showed yesterday morning and throughout the day and throughout the night in leading our response to this effort. This is what the Illinois State Police do. Also very grateful for our partners at the Illinois Department of Transportation, the local fire services, local ambulance services, local law enforcement, our partners here in this county and in this municipality. The effort was very professional, very timely, under a very unusual circumstance. Certainly dust storms happen, but it is not something that happens every day here in this part of Illinois or in any part of Illinois. So this is a very series of unusual circumstances. I know meteorologists and the National Weather Service have certainly put out their observations and their conclusions about what led to these circumstances, and it's simply a terrible, terrible tragedy. It was a terrible day here in this part of the state and for the families that were affected by this, and we'll certainly continue to keep them at the center of our hearts as we Our love goes out to them, but as we do the job that we need to do here to identify the remains of these last two individuals, that's the work that still remains undone here. We are going to do everything we can, as we do in these circumstances, to very deliberately, very professionally go through the process of the traffic crash reconstruction, analyzing this. Again, at this point, this very early in the process, in no way are we saying that there's some indication that there's something criminal that's going on here, but we do have 6 individuals who have lost their lives, so we have to do everything we possibly can to make sure we ascertain as many facts as we can under the circumstances. So in the event there's anything to be learned from this, we'll certainly share that with the public. But at this point, this is just a terrible series of converging circumstances, very unusual, and a terrible loss of life. And we are all grieving for the people who died here yesterday. And with that, I will just conclude and see if there's any questions that I can answer for you.
Director, the 2 unidentified victims, are you able to say male, female?
I am not. I'm not able to say that yet.
2 adults?
2 adults, yes. Yeah, there was 2 separate cars. I don't believe there were children driving the cars, so these were 2 adults.
Director Kelly, we have heard in the last 24 hours from some in the local farming community who this was avoidable based on the farming techniques used. Is any part of your investigation looking at who may be responsible?
Well, certainly we're looking at the surrounding area to see what information we can ascertain that may link, where the dust was coming from. But we know, again, just listening to what the National Weather Service has had to say and meteorologists have had to say about these circumstances, is that there's any number of things that could have led to this. And there's many different ways of tilling soil. There's no-till. There's lots of different types of agricultural activity. But some of these things may be related to a period of dryness, where there's not as much rain as there usually has been. And we're going to try to connect as many dots as we can and see if there's anything we can learn from that. But we're not jumping to any conclusions at this point.
Criminal charges possible?
We have a process to make that determination. And if and when there's something that warrants that, we'll certainly share that with the public. But in no way are we anywhere near that type of conclusion at this point.
Are you aware of any type of regulations that would limit tillage that are farmed during
Well, I can say this. Again, there's many different types of agricultural techniques that are used, in terms of plowing a field. And it's a whole host of factors that go into how that process works. And the timing, it does not benefit a farmer to lose a bunch of their topsoil. So they have no motivation or no reason that they would want to do something that would cause this in any way. So there's no logic to saying that someone did this on purpose and they were somehow skirting some sort of regulation. But again, we're going to look at everything. It is our job, and this is what the Illinois State Police do well, is to follow the facts wherever they take us, good, bad, or ugly. But we also don't want to jump to any conclusions beyond what the evidence shows.
Mr. Director, who helped?
If you could elaborate just a little bit more. We've heard from locals who were saying something along the same lines where because of the tools and techniques they were using, that's what caused it. Would this have been avoidable?
I'm not going to, again, as I said, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions without knowing the facts. So that's the process we're going through now. We're doing an investigation, and if we have more information that points a certain direction, there'll be an appropriate time and a place to share that information.
Well, Mr. Director, who helped?
Did any of them respond to the scene?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
What they saw, what did they drive up to? What was their initial reaction?
Sure. Let me answer all these questions, and we'll come back around to them. Yes, sir.
Mr. Director, who helps the helpers? Today or someday in the future, some first responder is probably going to say, man, oh man, I need help. What's available?
So our officers deal with very intense and sometimes very tragic circumstance on a regular basis. This is the duty that they face every day. It's the mission that they've been called to do, and that's not just true for our troopers. It's also for all law enforcement, for medical first responders, and we certainly have a layer and a myriad of options. Now wellness, making sure that we are helping the helpers, making sure that we are taking care of the people that take care of everyone else. And we have a process for these type of major incidents. I will say we're pretty good at being able to talk through these incidents and refer people to appropriate services if they need it. We know in a very difficult situation like this, where there's fatalities, where there's some very extreme and very intense images and sensations that human beings are dealing with, that certainly can leave scars on the psyche of the individuals that are dealing with this tragic event. And I think we have a pretty good process in place where we're very open about that. You know, this is not something, it's not, back in the day where you just push it down and bite your lip and carry on. That's not best for the people that are doing this work. The most important tool they have is not only the amazing tools that they have to be able to respond to these emergencies and technology. This is the most important tool they got, and we're very thoughtful about trying to make sure we're maintaining that tool. Yes, sir.
Mr. Kelly, I just wanted to ask, what exactly, why did it take until a crash for everybody involved?
All right, some major updates there from Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly. Now, the biggest takeaways that you should keep in mind from that as well, they do have some identities confirmed, some that are tentative, but two where they have no clue, no identification for at least two of those victims. So the information that they are putting out is one car, a blue Chrysler, another car, a Hyundai. If you know any information about that, you are to call 618-346-3656. Again, that's 618-346-3656. He also mentioned there that you might hear the term as how they're treating this as a criminal investigation. That doesn't necessarily mean it is one. They are just doing that in terms of the severity of this incident here. We'll have more coming up for you at noon, 5 and 6 tonight. You can also stay updated with us online and on air.